Hello, and welcome to the Degrees of Success podcast. I'm your host, Frida Richards, and today we have with us a special guest, Dr. Mautra Jones. She is currently the president of Oklahoma City Community College. She has her MBA from University of Phoenix and continued her education, getting a doctorate from Vanderbilt University. Dr. Jones' accolades include Forbes magazine recognizing Dr. Jones as one of the top 10 Black education CEOs to watch in 2023. Dr. Jones was awarded the 2021 National Mothers of the Year and 2021 Oklahoma Mother of the Year by American Mothers Incorporated. She was honored as an Achiever Under 40 by the Journal and Oklahoma Magazine. Please welcome with me, Dr. Jones.
Thrilled to be here. Thank you so much for the invitation.
Absolutely. Well, I want to jump right in and learn more about you because you have so many incredible accolades, and I'd love to find out how we got there. So tell me about you. How did you grow up?
Well, I grew up from very humble beginnings, and it's something that I'm not shy about. I had a very tumultuous childhood. It was tough. Things were rough. The things that I experienced, I don't think any child should. However, my grandmother, who I am blessed to still have with me to this very day, really stepped in and took charge. My parents were young parents. They had so many different challenges. And so I often tell people, if you look at kind of statistics from people who come from underserved communities and really from poverty, I could check off about a dozen boxes or so of just kind of some of those statistics and characteristics of people who do, unfortunately, have to experience things that, again, children should not have to. That said, my grandmother stepped in and, really took the reins to say, okay, enough is enough. And I want to make sure that my grandchildren have what they need to be successful in life. And so I'm the recipient of that. My grandmother raised me, grew up in a very small town. And, she really poured the principles of hard work, the prioritizing faith, family, and freedom, and certainly love for community and for humanity. And so those principles, I'm very grounded in my faith, really helped me not only succeed, but just soar in everything that I've really embarked upon doing. So I grew up in a very small town, graduated from Ardmore High School, attended the University of Oklahoma. And education, and for me, was always just the great equalizer. It opened up the doors to so many possibilities, so many opportunities, and really just exposed me to so much. And so I was able to move to California right after I graduated from undergraduate and pursued my MBA from University of Phoenix and did an incredible job just really learning and embracing every single thing I was supposed to learn. Very thankful in hindsight for my upbringing, for the challenges, for everything. Just grateful for the journey because it really built that intestinal fortitude and taught me to just have gratitude and appreciation and not take things for granted, really for every walk of life.
Gratitude is everything. And I could agree with you on that. Let me ask this. When you were growing up, who did you look up to? It sounds like it could possibly be grandma. But
Listen, and my mom, despite, the challenges, oh my goodness, love my mother dearly. God rest her soul. My parents, we're your children. So of course you look up to your parents despite whatever it is they're going through. Mm-hmm. And at the time you don't quite understand it, but as you get older, you start to say, wait a minute, some of these things probably should not have occurred or happened. But I really looked up to a lot of we had like a lot of just strong community members. So obviously my parents, my grandmother, even my relatives, because they just have this strength that's just unreal. They have such a strong work ethic. And when I say they, I'm talking about my grandmother and her sisters and they grew up on a farm in the country. And so I was exposed to people who had such pride in everything they did, but certainly in their work and in their service to others. I was exposed to these things. And so it really inspired me to be able to take whatever I was going through and look at the brighter side and look at how I could be of service or how I could, see the brighter side of things, knowing that people are people mess up, people make mistakes, but it was important to me I've always been full of hope, and I've always been an eternal optimist. And so really, I looked up to my family members, my relatives, my grandmother, I would say the ladies in our community. I was in 4-H. I was, very involved with church. So I had a lot of activities to keep me really grounded and focused on the future, and not so much, just certain situations and things that were really out of my control.
That makes great sense. I heard you say you've learned a lot of grace over from your childhood to now. You've learned a lot of gratitude. Tell me how you see that in your leadership currently. How does that help you lead in your current position?
I think just being a leader, one of the hardest things about leading is people management. And some folks won't say that, but I believe, because, people bring their primary, socializations, as well as, to the office. They bring their primary and secondary socializations, to their work. And so it's things that are really outside of anyone's control, certainly mine as a leader, to be able to manage. But people have all sorts of, challenges. People, as they walk through life, things change. We're in an ever evolving society. So people are juggling so much. And so I think when you operate from a level of grace and really gratitude, it's give people the resources they need to be successful, create a safe, nurturing, healthy environment and allow it to thrive. And that's really what I've worked hard to do in any organization, that I've been blessed and fortunate to work with, is, create a very healthy, safe, nurturing environment where people can be who they are and they have the resources and support they need. You remove the barriers that you can, and then you allow people to carry out the work, and you provide strong guidance and leadership. And really, I think that's something that people kind of shy away from. I don't have a problem extending grace, because I've been given grace my entire life. People have helped me through my journey. I'm not successful and in the spot that I'm in because I got here by myself, or that it was happenstance. It was because people believed in me and they gave me opportunities, and they took chances on me, and they, rewarded my hard work or my diligence or whatever. But I think that I stand on the shoulders of so many giants and people who have come before me and maybe didn't get the opportunities that I have. So I don't take it for granted. And because I've been on the other side of things, where I am not having, not just wishing and desiring, oh my goodness, wouldn't it be nice if I could do this? Or wouldn't it be nice if my childhood or just my life was normal and looked like my friends that I went to school with, and, their moms and dads would be doing certain things. And I just said, oh my gosh, wouldn't that be so neat if I could do that? So it taught me to not take things for granted, because as quickly as you have it, it can be taken away, but to appreciate things and to make sure that the same grace that's been given to you throughout your life, that you grant that same grace to others.
Wow. It sounds like even through the turmoil of your childhood and your grandmother showing you like what drive and grace and forgiveness looks like, that you've taken that and really used that to be this incredible leader that you currently are. And I think that's so powerful, because others could have chosen to crumble, and you chose to use that to make you stronger and to drive you to be an excellent leader. And that's incredible. Let me ask you this. Tell me a story that you haven't told, that's something brand new we're learning about you today, Dr. Jones.
Pertaining to
You tell me.
Okay,
You tell me.
okay,
What
yes.
story popped up to your mind immediately when you were like, well, I haven't told this one?
Well, the very, very first story that pops up in my mind is, I really saw myself in a different career path, and I did not set out to be a college president. I had an agent. So here's something that a lot of people don't know, but it's kind of cool. So here we go. It's debuting.
I love it. I love
set
it.
out. So I had an agent in college, and post college. I belonged to a modeling and talent agency, and so I believed in my heart of hearts that I would, do a lot of commercial and print. And because that's the kind of work that I booked while I was a student at the University of Oklahoma. So I did like a lot of different ads and commercials, and it was so much fun. And I thought that that's what my career path, where my career path would take me. And I kind of chuckle about it because so all of the skills that I learned at the University of Oklahoma in the broadcasting in the journalism school, Gaylord School of Journalism and Mass Communications, I really thought that, okay, so if the modeling thing is like, you got to have a backup plan, you got to have a backup plan. If the modeling thing doesn't work, I will go and be an anchor. I will be a reporter. I will, kind of take that side because I've always loved to learn, and I've always been the person who will just go down a trail to get the facts. Like, I believe in uncovering facts. So I'm a researcher through and through. Love, love, love it. But I moved to California in pursuit of that. And everything that I've done, there, everything that had the opportunity to do there was pushing me more along the sides of business. And so the work that I was able to do there, so I did get to do a few jobs and some things here and there, but I was really thriving in my career. As a young marketing director at the time there. And so everything was taking off. And so I enrolled in the University of Phoenix's MBA program because having this kind of, liberal arts background, having this journalism degree and being promoted and elevated into a position where I have to, think about ROI and I have to think about, going and building this practice that I worked for. I was like, what are we talking about here? Some of those principles, I had to learn more. And so that's what prompted me to get my MBA. I moved to California in pursuit of, this modeling, acting career, more so really just modeling career, and ended up picking up an MBA and just, doing really well, in my career in terms of that side of things, not necessarily the side of going and doing all this. So it's like I moved to California. I'm like, I've arrived. I'm here, everyone. when you look around and I would get these casting calls and there's like 10 women 20 people that look just like you. So I chuckle at that because I never really thought that I would be on this side of things, but everything works out exactly like it's supposed to, that's destined and ordained for our lives. And so I'm so thrilled in hindsight that I am able to use my talents and gifts to, help others with similar backgrounds, even not similar backgrounds, and positions in life that I have. So it's just I laugh because I really, we're young, don't know a whole, you're thinking that, I can just conquer the world. Because one of the things that I would say is I was so fearless, coming out of college. And I actually went and told my grandmother I was going to drop out of school and moved to California. She goes, well, I won't support you in anything if you do that. So she was like, you better get that bachelor's degree. So 2 days,
That's right.
2 days after I graduated from the University of Oklahoma, I set out to move to California, and I did that.
Oh my goodness. Now, see, that's an incredible story. I love that.
So you went
from being a model, right? It aired here, being a model and an actress to a media director. And now you are the president of this incredible community college. That's such an incredible journey. Tell me, you did mention that you came here to University of Phoenix to get your MBA.
I did.
Tell me more about that experience. Tell me about your experience here at University of Phoenix.
So I actually attended the Kearney Mesa campus, and I'm very particular, whenever I let people know, they're like, oh, you went to UOP? It's like, no, but I actually went to a campus, because that's important to me that I was able to interface, and the model, UOP model has just been tremendous. So I was able to attend classes at night and walk out, my career, this practice, this private practice that I worked for as their director of marketing. But I was able to apply principles, immediately to the work that I was doing. And so I remember a friend telling me I said, you know what, I am a lifelong learner. And if I could go back and pick up 2 or 3 more degrees, I totally would. But I realized that, okay, we've got quite a bit of degrees, so let's stay focused, on the work and the students that we're elevating so that they can achieve their dreams. But my time at UOP, I had a friend say, hey, you really need to check out University of Phoenix. They have a very flexible schedule, because I knew what I couldn't do. And this was one of the programs. I'd reached out to several other schools there in San Diego and LA. But at the time that I attended, you really had to be in class, or you had to commit to going full time and being there on site. And I knew I didn't have that kind of time, meaning my career was going really well. And the company that I worked for, I kept being promoted. And I said, okay, I really want to set myself up for success to better understand and really be able to serve this entity to the best of my ability. So let me go and get this education and learn more. And so UOP structure was absolutely perfect for where I was in life. I was single, I didn't have anything else to do but work and study so it worked out perfectly where I could, go to work my 8 to 5, and then of course after hours drive over to the Kearney Mesa campus and engage with students and professors. And one of the things that I always say that I really appreciated most is University of Phoenix has a way of bringing just these amazing, seasoned professionals in who they have experience in the field. Everything is not theoretical, or in theory it should look like this. They're teaching you, practical. They're teaching you application. Here's how you apply. Here's how you will apply it. Here's how I've applied it in my career. I had a gentleman who was a financial planner. I'll never forget it. That taught my accounting. And so he worked for Mass Mutual. Then I had another gentleman who was retired and he was a statistician. I think he worked for the Iowa Basic. He worked for the Iowa Basic Skills for Test or that entire unit. Mm-hmm. But he was a retired statistician. And so I remember some of my and there was an attorney. I mean, the list goes on and on. But I remember these people. They had such an impact, because they talked about, here is what you are going to face in the workplace. Here is why this information matters. And this is why you need to understand and grasp these concepts. And then they broke us out in certain groups. So we would be able to have group activities, group projects, so that for those of us maybe who, statistics wasn't necessarily your thing, or you didn't have a whole lot of experience, you were paired with people that you could work through projects together and gain that better understanding. And so I really appreciated just the various methods of delivery and approach that UOP took, because I was able to just take classes, really enjoy it, meet some pretty phenomenal people. That was the other thing. My cohort was made up of professionals in all walks from various backgrounds. There were CEOs in my cohort. There were people who were entry level. There were people who'd been in their careers 20, 30 years. It was really special. And then I always like to say, so I started in Kearney Mesa, and then life continued to life. I love when the youngsters say that, life is lifing. It's hilarious. But I got married and moved to Columbus, Ohio, because my husband practiced law there and went to work for a large law firm there. So guess what? I finished everything in Columbus, Ohio at a campus there. And then I had to travel, or something was going on, and we were coming back to Oklahoma City. So I graduated in Oklahoma City. And I know. And
that's incredible.
I think it's pretty special because I'd done the bulk of my coursework at the Kearney Mesa campus, got married, moved to Ohio, and finished maybe just a class or two there, and then graduated in Oklahoma City with a big, beautiful commencement there. So it was just fabulous. I mean, when I tell you that that University of Phoenix had, back at that time, had really thought through every single scenario that could happen that allows you to stay on track and to get your degree. And I still completed my degree in 2 years. So it was pretty awesome. So anyway, I often look back on that time with just such just joy. And I know I probably gave you a little bit more than you wanted, but that's how much my UOP education means to me, because it was at a time in my life where I was really just discovering so much, about myself. And I was in a new state, in a new town, in a new city, I was a young professional, so I had to figure out a lot of things, but University of Phoenix was right there alongside me, helping me figure life out.
Did you find that you had a community here at the University of Phoenix?
Absolutely. I mean, I was alone in San Diego, in a major city, this young woman who just graduated from college. And so I had my buddies that I went to school with to lean on. I had professors that I could call and say, I really didn't understand this. Can we meet to talk more about this? And so, yes, meet me 30 minutes before class, or we could do office hours here, whatever it was. But I felt very supported. Plus, at the campus, I could go and, if I needed to, go into the labs they had set up and, take time there or meet for group projects. But it was really a very impressionable time that I just won't forget, because I remember thinking, how on earth am I going to get this degree and still, advance in my work? And I was able to do that without missing a beat with University of Phoenix.
That's incredible. Well, what we know is that you've had a lot of first. Been you've been overwhelmed with with so many of your accomplishments. With that, clearly, due to the fact that you've had a lot of first, what advice do you have for others that are on a similar journey based off of your experience?
You have to really be fearless in your pursuits. I would tell anyone, don't be afraid to, go after what it is you want to go after. We often make up so many excuses. Oh, if I had this time, if so much time has passed, or if I had, this many, we make up so many excuses to not go for what it is we want. And I would just encourage people that there's never going to be an ideal or proper time to pursue what it is you want to pursue. I've always been of the opinion, you know what, I'm just going to make it happen and we'll see what happens. And it's always worked out. And it's not to say that you don't think about things. You have to think things through. But I would say you also have to be fearless enough to go ahead and be a self-starter to pursue what it is you want to pursue, because you'll look up, and I think about it in this way. What's the worst that can happen? But also, what if I'm successful? What if I'm able to accomplish what it is I set out to? And so that's really what guides me. I don't think about the negativity. I really look at things from a positive standpoint. And I would say at every juncture in life, I've had to just make it happen. And I also would advise people to find some mentors. You have to have mentors in this journey. So my grandmother is one of mine, but I also have other mentors for various aspects of my life. As a wife, as a mother, as a college president, as a community, volunteer. Certainly in my civic life. There's a handful of people that I really lean on and they pour into me and I pour into them. It's not a one-way street, but I find people who are going places and I would say actually it's really happened quite organically, but I appreciate people's stories and experiences and perspectives who've been where I'm trying to go. And so one of the things that I pride myself on is, and I'm fortunate to have my grandmother with me, but I really listen and I don't suffer in silence. If I'm going through something, I'm going to make sure that the people who are trusted that I can share certain things with can help me process and walk through things so that I can stay on the path that I need to stay on. And so I would tell people, find your folks, find your people who are with you that you can bounce ideas off of, who, and then find those mentors who have been where you want to go, who can certainly invest and pour and share their experiences, because you'll find that it's really not that scary and that everybody goes through things, but that chances are you'll be able to accomplish what it is that you wanted to, and all the things that maybe you thought would happen don't even occur. Usually I hate to say this, it's in your mind, when people start to doubt or think about, oh, I can, or this could happen, or this could not happen. But I would just say, be fearless, find mentors. I would also say something that has really guided me is the sense of gratitude. You have to show people appreciation, and you do it when they're here, when they're alive. You show people gratitude because a lot of, my grandmother taught me people don't owe you anything. They don't owe you a hello. And I was like, geez, grandma, as a young girl, I kind of thought that was harsh. But her point was, if you want something, you go get it for yourself. You don't rely on other people to do it for you. You go and get it yourself. You put in the work, and that you can achieve whatever it is you want to, but don't rely on other people to do what it is you want to do in life. You have to make it happen. And we're all blessed with gifts and talents. And it's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And so it's like, use those gifts and talents to walk out the work it is that you have to do. If you haven't found what you're passionate about, keep living. You will, you'll fall into it. And it's things that you can't, that really make you feel fulfilled, or that you have a sense of purpose. So those are just some of the pearls of wisdom that I would share with those who are in a similar plight. And I would also say this, I have a victor, not a victim mentality, because I've been able to overcome so much. But I will say this, the things that I've gone through, they made me stronger. I survived. And I'm now able to take the things that I went through and hopefully inspire others to say, listen, if I could, make it, you can make it. If I can overcome all the challenges that I've gone through, then you can do the same. But you have to believe. It starts in your mind. You have to believe that you can do it.
Absolutely. Listen, Dr. Jones, you have inspired me. So know that. Hearing your story is so inspirational. Hearing your love for your grandmother and that you're blessed to still have her with you. I actually lost my grandmother in October last year. So this October.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Thank you. But just like your grandmother, she was my foundation and my drive, And so actually when she passes, when I decided to start my doctorate. So if your grandmother were to tell any of these viewers another pearl of wisdom, as you said, what do you think that she would give to the people watching that are thinking, you know what? I think I want to go back to school. Can I do it?
She would. So let me tell you, and this is, I don't speak a whole lot. In fact, I've not spoken about this, but it's something that she says to me that really helps me not only stay grounded, but on my days where I'm like, oh, this is so tough. It is so hard. I think about her and everything that she went through. My grandmother's about to be 91. Okay. Life was very different for her. I mean, she told me the other day that, she's like, when we were in our log cabin, I said, you lived in a log cabin? I mean, I chuckled about it. And she was like, yes. And I'm thinking, I can't fathom living in a log cabin, but she grew up on a farm and she helped take care of her siblings. And, she's been that conduit, I would say, for so many of my family members to be able to achieve what they, want to go and achieve. And so what I would say is this, she would say, there are a lot of opportunities that I didn't have that you have. And it is a disservice to your ancestors to not take advantage of the things that they prayed for or wish that they had access to that you have access to. So there's no excuse for you not to go and achieve, because too many people died, didn't make it to be able to realize their dreams, and didn't have access to opportunities. So I would say that that's the advice she would give to anyone. If you can do it, you should. There's no reason, but not doing so is a disservice to our ancestors. And when we talk about the profound just nature of that alone, I think to myself, okay, if I have a little bit of a headache, or if I'm not, I'm like, let me get it together and get out the door, get out of the door and get to the campus and make some magic happen for these students.
Awesome. So I know that you are a mother of 3, which is amazing. How do you balance all of that? Your responsibilities with your career and the family and your education. How do you balance all of that?
I take it one day at a time. I am very blessed and fortunate that, you have to make sure that what I would say is that the people that are around you, that they're supportive. And so I ensure that, of course, my husband, he and I divide and conquer. And so I'm so fortunate that he is supportive and understanding and, is the wind beneath my wings. He's like, okay, let's do this. I mean, we divide and conquer every single day with the 3 children that we have. And so it's just important that not only do we have people around us that support us, but that support our children. And so we definitely, lean on our family and those really close friends, and we help each other through this journey. And I also think too, on the business side of things, certainly at the college, is making sure that, I have an incredible supportive board of regents. The board is very supportive because they understand that I do have a very young family. And so they're just tremendously supportive. And then I also believe in just making sure that the team members, that we bring on board at the college, and the people who are there, that we just really institute in them that, you've got to be able to take care of yourself first and be healthy and whole. And then you also have to take care of your family, that family is first. And that is important, because if you're not healthy, and certainly if your family, isn't, then you're not going to be able to focus on the work that we have to do for students. And be a blessing to so many others if there are challenges there. So we have a great deal of resources at OCCC that we put into place for, our families, for our employees, to ensure that we are supportive from a health and wellness standpoint.
That's excellent. Tell me about those three that you have. How old are they?
I have three amazing children. They are very strong-willed. I have a 15-year-old son who's a sophomore in high school, an 11-year-old daughter who just started middle school. She's in sixth grade. And then I have a baby boy who is 9, and he's in the fourth grade. And they are such a joy. I tell people they keep us young. They keep my husband and I young because the things that they come home with and share, and we're busy with soccer. We're a very active family, so they're in soccer and choir and robotics, and so we have so many different activities going on, whether it be at the college or at their various schools, or certainly with my husband and the work that he does. We are very busy, but we enjoy it, and I think what matters is that we're supportive to one another, and that I want my children to know that they can accomplish anything they want to accomplish in life. I try to explain to them, mom didn't have all these opportunities growing up, and my life looked very different. And so I try to expose them to just various really experiences and things, so that they have perspective, and certainly the same caring spirit that Dad and I have. But they do. We've got incredible children.
That's only to be expected. Look at their mom, and I'm confident that your husband is the same. That's amazing. Well, let me ask this. So clearly, as we mentioned earlier, you were honored and seen as one of the CEOs to watch for Black education, for Black higher education. What do the ingredients look like for that? Like, how do you put that together to become and be seen and be recognized as such a high achiever?
Well, I think that's very kind, and I appreciate the various accolades. For me, I just hope that they inspire. I hope that people look at my story. People are often surprised when I say, my background was very tumultuous, and I grew up poor. I grew up from humble beginnings. Like, it's nothing that I'm ashamed of. As a child, I didn't understand a whole lot, but I understand that as I've, through the years, and as you live and get a little bit more wisdom, and just know that, everybody has a story. Everybody has things that they've experienced, that, they've gone through. And what matters is just perspective. What matters is staying focused. And what matters is treating people with the same dignity and respect that you would want to be treated with. But I think that the accolades, they're incredible. They're incredible. I appreciate people taking the time, and organizations taking the time to recognize my work. But again, I didn't get here alone. I have people who are walking it out with me that help me be great. I'm certainly, have a lot of passion for the work that I do. And again, I just hope that those accolades just serve to inspire.
Speaking of those accolades, and you're balancing, and that's what a lot of University of Phoenix students have to do, right? Balancing life and school, which could be a challenge, but all of my guests, all of these students have done such incredible things. You have been acknowledged as one of the Mothers of the Year in 2021, I believe, which is incredible. As a mom myself with two little boys, I could see how, with all the challenges and all the different things on our plate, it could be hard, but you seem to just be killing it, to say the least. So tell us the secret sauce. If you Mother of the Year 2020, how do we do that and have an incredible career?
That entire process, it was amazing. I mean, I was literally, you're gonna laugh, I was on my way to a soccer game with the kiddos, I believe, and we were all in the car, and we were actually having the conference virtually because of everything going on with the pandemic. And when they announced the accolade, I was literally in the car, like on the way somewhere. And then I saw, so I had my phone going, and I had my little beautiful scarf, and my American Mother scarf. And I'd been on the soccer field all day going back and forth to games. So I wanted to participate in this conference. And so I'm cheering and muting the camera, but making sure that I'm tuning into, what we're talking about. But they made the announcement. I was in the car with the entire family. The kids were cheering. I was literally watching there, and the Mother of the Year, the National Mother of the Year. And so I see a little prompt that says this: the host is asking you to unmute is asking you to unmute. And I was like, well, I wonder why they're doing that. Why are they asking me to unmute? And then they announced, I was like, what? what? And so I told the kids, and the kids erupt in cheer. Yay! Woo! Our mom. It was the most special moment because I'm literally have my phone. I'm in the car driving, or my husband was driving, and I had the phone on, and the kids were in the back, and so you just see this whole car just cheer as mommy's named National Mother of the Year. But what I will say is, I wouldn't be in this space in place and time and have the successes that I have, if not just for not only the people, but just a very positive disposition, and just I have hope. I will always have hope, and so I think that there's not a secret to it. You have to have a respect first for humanity. Have a respect for people and a love for people. I think that, authenticity will get it. And my grandmother always would tell me, if real doesn't get it, really nothing else will. Those are her exact words. And so she just, be yourself, be who God made you to be. And then you go out there and you walk out the work every single day. You make it happen. And so I think just being genuine, being authentic, really walking in your purpose. When you do that, things are going to line up like they need to. That's what I would share with people. There is no secret to success. I think you have to, work incredibly hard. I think you have to be steadfast and diligent in your efforts, and I think you have to make sure that you keep things in their proper perspective, and that's just in general. But I think if you do those things, that you'll have success.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. What I'm hearing from you is faithfulness, clearly grace, fearlessness. I think that these are really great notes and things to definitely live by as you're driving forward towards your goals. That's simply incredible. So here's what I want to do now is just have you tell me what's going on with you in your current journey. What do you have going on currently that we should be keeping our eyes out for?
Oklahoma City Community College, I love the work. And people say, what do you love most, about the seat you sit in? And I said, that no 2 days are the same. No 2 days are the same. And I love that because the work that I'm doing right now, it is impacting lives. It is impacting countless, people and generations to come. And it is so meaningful. And it's not, it is hard work, but it's heart work. And I love the fact that I have an opportunity to impact lives, so many lives. OCCC, we're the fourth largest institution of higher learning in the state of Oklahoma. And so we serve over 18,000 students on the credit seeking side and another 5,000 to 7,000 every single year on the non-credit seeking side. And so I always say there's something for everyone at OCCC. We have early college students who are 13, who are freshmen and sophomores in high school. We have students who are in their 70s. We have, seasoned career professionals who come back and say, I want to learn more about this particular area, or I want to upskill. And that is very special. OCCC is being recognized globally for the work that we're doing. And so it makes me very proud that our Gray Frederickson Digital Cinema program is one of the top 30 in the nation by Movie Maker magazine for 3 consecutive years. We've been named that. Forbes Advisor named our psychology degree as one of the top 10 in the country. We are a National Center of Academic Excellence in Cyber Defense. So our work in that space is just excelling and advancing, and we're one of the top nursing programs regionally. We are an emerging Hispanic serving institution. The list goes on and on with all of the things that we're able to do. We're the state's largest provider of microcredentials. We've provided over 14,000 microcredentials in the last year alone, just to different professionals who want to, upskill, their talents and, possibly make advancements in their career paths. And so it's just tremendous to be a part of an institution that cares so much about people that provides resources, that ensures that whoever walks through our doors will have what they need to be able to achieve the successes that they want to achieve. That's what matters to me. That's what gets me up every single day, just super excited about all of the different things that we can do and the resources we can provide, and really just being a small stop in so many people's journeys. It's very special to be able to change lives through education and to really set an example that doesn't matter where you've been. It doesn't matter what you've been through. It doesn't matter your demographics, because I always tell people demographics do not define destiny. They just don't. And so we are doing tremendous work at OCCC. And so I would just say to continue to be on the lookout for the work that we're doing and the lives that we're impacting here in Oklahoma, in our nations. I always like to say, world, in the plains or the heartland, but we are doing great work, and I'm so proud to be a part of it.
You're not just doing hard work, you're doing heart work. That is such a great quote, Dr. Jones. My goodness. Well, clearly, they are blessed to have you. You're doing amazing things over there, and your college sounds like it is also award-winning and making many different accomplishments as well. That is incredible. I do also know that you were the very first Black woman president at that university or at that community college. Is that right?
First woman and first person of color. And I will also, this is one of the things that I'm very proud of, the first African-American female to lead any institution of higher education that's not an HBCU. We only have one HBCU in the state, which is a historically Black college university. We just have the one. But outside of that, to be a first in all of those regards or respects, I consider is just value added. It's a blessing. It's tremendous. And it's just, again, I hope it inspires others to say, you know what, it doesn't matter your plight. You can be whatever it is you want to be in this life.
Well, I can clearly see why you have all of these accolades, because you were simply incredible. I'm so grateful that you joined us today. Before you leave me, I actually have something fun for us. We are going to do some rapid fire questions.
Let's do it.
All right. So these are going to be a lot of fun. All right. So now I'm going to get to know the good stuff about you. I'm going to take notes. Let's see what you've got. Rapid fire question. First one, coffee or tea for late night fuel?
Only tea.
Only tea.
No
Herbal?
No coffee. I've never been able to drink coffee.
No. Okay. And so is it green tea or is it black tea?
Green tea.
Green tea. Can't go wrong with green tea. Favorite study snack?
Green and chai.
Oh, green and chai. You can't go wrong with chai tea too. Mm-hmm. A little bit of cream. Yeah.
Milk.
What's your favorite?
Milk and honey. I do milk and honey in my tea.
Oh, you do milk and honey. So wait, so you must do that's like an English, what do they call it? Something fog.
It is
London.
Absolutely delicious. You have to try. Like I drink milk and honey in my tea, and I have tea every day, pretty much every day.
I love that. So you put the milk and honey in the green tea?
I do.
Oh, okay. I'm going to try it next.
Any tea I drink has milk and honey.
I love it. All right. What is your favorite snack?
Cashews.
That is the healthiest snack.
And avocado. I love
that is
avocado.
awesome.
Love avocado.
Avocados are delicious. You're going to have to come to Arizona again because we make the best guac. We have some really incredible places out here.
Yes, you do. I had lots of it whenever I was there in March.
Oh, that's right. So delicious. And then what's your go-to karaoke song?
I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston.
You cannot go wrong.
And of course, September.
Oh, absolutely. Earth, Wind, and Fire and some Whitney Houston. You and I can go karaokeing together. This is what I'm learning. Oh my goodness. Well, listen, it was such a blast chatting with you. We're so grateful that you had the opportunity to come on and spend some time with us. And it's just so wonderful watching you and hearing about all the incredible things you've already done. And we will be keeping an eye out for you because we know that there's much, much more to come. So thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you.
I appreciate it. I'll just say this one last thing. I really and truly appreciate not only being at the helm at OCCC, but our board of regents, our faculty, our staff, our leadership, our students. It's all about our students and those who walk alongside us every single day to do the work that we do. So I really appreciate this opportunity to share.
Absolutely. We appreciate you spending the time with us and learning more about you and OCCC.
Thank you.
We look
Thank
forward
you.
to talking to you again soon. Have a great one, Dr.
Absolutely.
Jones.
You too.
Thank you for joining us on the Degrees of Success podcast. See you next time.